You may remember the story. A woman was in her car when far-left extremists attacked her. She drove forward, shoving them out of the way, hitting a few, and she faced 7 years in prison. I got good news for you. It's a white pill moment, my friend. She has won. Her penalty, 5 hours of community service. Okay. I wouldn't call it the cleanest victory or everything we'd want. She should have gotten no time. She should have been found completely innocent. Instead, sentenced to 5 hours of community service. I got to tell you, 5 hours of community service is the lightest slap on the wrist I have ever heard of. But they still convicted her. So it's not the cleanest, as I said, of victories, but she still won. Here's the story. The Daily Mail reports. A New York City mother of 3 who plowed her BMW into a group of BLM extremists in 2020 walked free from court on Monday, having been sentenced to just 5 hours of community service as part of a plea agreement with the Manhattan DA's office. Kathleen Casillo, 53, was facing the possibility of up to 7 years in prison if convicted in the December 2020 incident that left 6 people injured. Under the deal, Casillo pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment, a misdemeanor. She will have the charge reduced to a disorderly conduct violation if she fulfills her sentence and stays out of trouble for 6 months. What trouble did she get in? It's the craziest thing to me. What trouble did she get in? She was being attacked by far-left extremists, and she drove through them. In Provo, Utah, there was a woman, I'm not sure if it was a man or woman, who was shot in the arm. And we're supposed to sit back and let these extremists attack us? Well, I don't live in these cities. I don't vote for these people. So you get what you get. But apparently she still won. So they said the family of one of the victims was furious. You effed people's lives up. You're a criminal. One woman screamed in the corridors of Manhattan Supreme Court. You're a criminal and you have not taken accountability. They're going to come for this woman. It ain't over because they want power. That's it. They don't care about who's right or wrong. They want power over you. Casillo claimed she had inadvertently hit the gas pedal in panic because she said protesters were being aggressive. They didn't do anything, the woman responded. My husband's back was turned when you hit him and sent him flying into the air. His back was turned. How was that aggressive? Because you were all standing in the middle of the street with weapons. How's that for aggressive, you psychopath? They didn't do anything. But Casillo's defense lawyer said justice had been served. We are very gratified after an exhaustive and thorough review. The Manhattan DA's office has decided that Kathleen Casillo should not receive a criminal conviction, which we have maintained from the beginning of this case. Ms. Casillo is a retired grandmother who looks forward to putting this horrible ordeal behind her and spending time with her family. Her thoughts and prayers go out to anybody injured. You can see there's bikes lay on the ground after her car struck multiple BLM protesters on December 11th, 2020. I believe that was several months after far-left extremists shot a person in their car. And I think any reasonable person is going to be terrified when these extremists, this cult, approaches your car screaming their psychotic cult ideology in your face. And you have to be left wondering, are these people going to shoot me like they did that other person in Provo, Utah? It's a difficult position to be in. She got arrested. Apparently, she drove, stopped, told the police, and they arrested her. She apologized on camera as she left the courtroom, saying, I'm sorry for everyone. I really am. It was December 11th, 2020, when Casillo drove her car, her black sedan, directly into a BLM protest on 39th Street and 3rd Avenue in Manhattan. The incident was caught on video and saw several protesters being thrown into the air. 6 people were hurt and left with non-life-threatening injuries. Casillo said that she feared for her safety and that of her 29-year-old daughter when she accidentally stepped on the gas. The Howard Beach Queen's mom has previously claimed that demonstrators had come up to her car and called her a white privilege bee before banging on her vehicle. She was charged with reckless assault, reckless endangerment, and released without bail, but turned down plea deals that would see her perform 6 days of community service and suspended her driver's license for 1 year in exchange for a guilty plea. But on Monday, prosecutors working under DA Alvin Bragg said new terms were agreed because Casillo did not have a criminal record, flee the scene, and insist she did not intend to hurt protesters while also taking responsibility for the incident. We believe, given all this, it is just to permit the defendant to try and earn a non-criminal disposition, Assistant District Attorney Andrew Mercer said in the court. If she fails in fulfilling the conditions of this plea, that is, if she does not complete the community service or gets rearrested in the next year, she will not be permitted to withdraw her plea. The misdemeanor conviction will stand and she will face possible jail time. So how much do you want to bet the far left tracks her down, engages with her in a way that forces her to defend herself, which is grounds for arrest? And then they try and say, oh, no, she got in trouble, started fighting with these people. If you live in this city, you deserve prison. And part of me thinks this woman should go to prison. Part of me thinks she should have gone for the full 7 years because they vote for it every day. With their tax dollars, with their dollars, with where they live, with the work they do, and the literal votes they cast. Now, of course, I don't really want this woman going to prison. But part of me says, if you live there, so be it. You reap what you sow. And people say to me all the time, you know, it's not fair because I can't afford to up and leave. And I will tell you this, as I've said it before. No one says I can't afford to leave my home when their home is on fire. They just run out the front door. They stand outside and it sucks. Miserable. But for people who choose to stay in the burning building and then have the fires burn them, I simply say, look, you knew the fire was there. You knew it was heading your direction. You stayed inside and said, but outside's cold. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Rather stay in the burning building. Okay, man, you do whatever you want to do. You stay in this city. I get it. It's not easy. No one ever said it would be easy. But don't be surprised if people don't give you sympathy when you get caught up in the chaos. And this woman and these people, all of the people of New York City who want to claim to be reasonable people, they keep voting for this. So I will not, nay, I cannot provide any sympathy to individuals who would stand in the flames and then beg me for help when they knew it was there the whole time. Look, if I'm in a situation and I see someone in dire straits, I'll try to save them. If I see a person who is, on the ground and can't get up, I'll call 911. I'll try and help them. But if I see a person who is choosing to walk towards danger, I will try to warn them, stay away. There's fire there. Don't go in that building. And they say, no, I'm going to go in the building. I say, stop, don't go in the building. I try to grab them and they say no, and they get away from me. They walk in that burning building and then scream, help, help, it burns. I ain't going inside. I will not go inside and try and help you. I'm not going to do it. I'll be like, well, you know what, man? I tried to warn you. I told you over and over again. And you just said, I'm going home. But I am not going to risk my life when you actively chose this. Now, I have this lady. I'm glad you're not going to prison. She has my support. I'm glad everything turned out. But she still pleaded guilty. She decided it was better to avoid going to a jury trial, to make the statement that she was wrong to try and flee far left extremists. And you see how they phrased it? The reason why they're letting her go? They say that prosecutors working insist she did not intend to hurt the protesters. Say, we believe, given all this, it is just to permit the defendant to try and earn a non-criminal disposition. If she does not complete the community service or get rearrested, then she will not be permitted to withdraw her plea, blah, blah, blah. The point is, they're basically saying, because she dropped to her knees, I accidentally hit the gas. Oh, okay. She didn't want to hurt us, so we're going to let her go. Now you get the rules. In reality, if someone is threatening the life of you and your child, you have a right to self-defense. But what they're trying to set with this precedent is, no, you don't. Not in these cities. So if you live in this place, give you another example. If you're walking towards a dark alley, and I run up to you and I say, don't go in that alley. There's criminals and thieves who are routinely in this alley and they will attack you. And you say, out of my way, I'm going to do whatever I want. I got to get home and it's hard to walk around this block. It's too much of a hassle. I can't. I got to go. Then I'll say, okay. They walk in that alley and they start screaming, help, help, I'm being beaten by far left extremists. I'm not going in there. You want me to now get caught up in the same mess you are? You walked into the quicksand, baby. I hope y'all get out of this place. And I hope y'all are lucky enough that if it happens to you, you get out of it like this lady did. But don't be surprised if you don't. And don't be surprised if no one comes to help you. Because I got to tell you, I'm sure there are people now who might try and help you leave. If you say, I'm getting out of here. But if you stay there and get caught up in the madness, they're just going to say, man, you had every opportunity to get out. And you just thought life was harder escaping than it would be staying. Sure, that's fine. The people who are saying that are making it simple. Leaving the city would be harder than staying. But you're saying that now. When they arrest you and the far left ransacks your home, life will certainly be harder. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.